Perfetto ragazzi, andiamo avanti, vediamo cosa scopriamo sto giro. Io comunque sono ancora presa molto male dal fatto che Tenmyoji sia Junpei. Cioè, veramente. È sempre stato il personaggio che in questo gioco ho considerato meno, non mi piaceva. Adesso non è che perché ho scoperto che Junpei mi piace, per carità. Però è una cosa che mi ha un attimo destabilizzata.
Kay and I went back to the infirmary, but...
We waited, and the two of you never returned.
So we went to the warehouse to check on you.
We found you passed out in front of the AB rooms.
Kay and I hurried back here with you. You mean what happened a long time ago? Huh. Yeah, I remember all right.
E l'ha detto in modo anche compiaciuto.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
What am I? Chopped liver?
Back among the conscious and not psychotic, huh?
Yeah, thanks.
Grandpa told me what you did. Thanks for finding the medicine for us.
Ah, nessun problema, abbiamo solo passato un casino incredibile per farlo.
Really grabbing at straws here, aren't you? Not really my point.
Oh, whatever. Forget about that. Now that you guys are awake, all we gotta do is open the number 9 door.
What are you talking about?
Look at your bracelet.
I've got 15 BP?
Caspita!
That means I got 6 more points while I was out.
You've been asleep for more than 2 hours. We've played the AB game 3 times.
Ah, caspita!
Yes, of course, the color and group assignments were shuffled around each time. But no matter who voted, everyone chose Ally.
Oh, che bravi bambini! Quindi ora tutti possono uscire.
And now all of us have enough to leave.
Ah, ah. Ci piace! Fammi un attimo vedere, come siamo sul volo? Attenzione! Siamo alla fine? Per davvero? Ma ci mancano dei pezzi ancora. Come fa Junpei a essere vecchio e Clover no? Quindi o quello è un Junpei che viene dal futuro. Che cavolo ne so. Visto che anche lui ha particolari capacità.
Haven't I told you death was unavoidable? Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
Come on, let's go! Let's open the door and get out of here!
Attenzione, lo mollano lì. Beh, in effetti potevano interrogarlo.
All right, let's get going.
Può finire tutto liscio adesso, mi sembra un po' strano. Oddio, con tutto quello che abbiamo fatto in realtà ci starebbe pure, eh.
Yes, just get on with it.
Oh, per davvero? Cavolo, lo stiamo facendo per davvero e tutti insieme, vabbè, Dio a parte. Bim bim.
The number 9 door, it will remain open.
finalmente abbiamo visto questi messaggi per una grama volta in un momento giusto, cioè quello che volevamo fare proprio. Ma ci sono abbastanza tutte per tutti? E questo l'abbiamo già visto in altri finali.
2, 1, 0. The number 9 door is closing.
Mamma mia ragazzi, finalmente.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked.
Ok. Che bello essere dalla parte giusta della barricata. E adesso? Forza, forza, fatemi vedere che accade.
Looks like we did it.
Yes, we should keep moving.
You know what this place is?
Ci sono abbastanza tutte, vedo, quindi no problem.
Whoa! Hold on a minute! You're saying the air outside is full of that horrible virus?
Tecnicamente sì. Mhm.
Why? How did all this happen?
Did they...
No, that's not possible.
We've come this far. We can't turn back now. Let's go outside. There's no way to know what's really going on until we do.
All right.
E fin qua sappiamo che dobbiamo fare. Eccoci all'esterno, in mezzo al nulla.
Where the hell are we?
the desert, I guess?
I figured that out. I mean, which one?
I don't know, but I think I know what day it is. Look at the moon. It's red, right?
È il 31?
That means today's the total lunar eclipse.
So?
Remember the astronomy magazine in the lounge? Well, the next eclipse like this was gonna be on December 31st, 2028. So...
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you suggesting we were sleeping for a week after we were abducted?
I think so.
Oh mamma mia.
The moon. Well, the moon's shadow, actually. Zero told me to stay quiet. I think he was worried I'd spill the beans on his operation.
E quindi?
He said if I didn't toe the line, he wouldn't just kill me. He'd kill Quark, too.
Ma ora puoi parlare?
And I agreed, like an idiot, and brought Quark with me. Just so I could see her. Such an idiot. So, that being the case, might as well start with this. I meant what I said before.
Beh, arriva lo spiegone anche di Tenmyoji, vai.
That up there is the moon's shadow. Think about it. If that's the moon's shadow, then what's it falling on?
That's Earth?
Yeah. It's not the red moon you get from a lunar eclipse. And again, this isn't a lunar eclipse. It's a solar eclipse. Anybody in the black spot down there is looking up at the moon, covering the sun.
The moon, of course.
Ah, allora mi sembrava di averlo detto in un altro video che dicevo non siamo sulla Terra. Già era giusto.
This is the lunar surface. We were just inside a moon base. No way.
E ok, d'accordo. Come cavolo ce ne andiamo da qui?
No, you've gotta be lying. How do you expect us to believe that? This can't be the moon.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. Besides, if this was the moon, how do you explain the gravity? The moon only has 1/6 of the Earth's gravity. So what's this? See, that looked perfectly normal.
Yes, it looked that way. You were right about the gravity in a way. I was one of the people who knew this wasn't Earth. Well, I suppose I'm not people, if we're being honest, but
Excuse me? What?
please just listen. Alice, you were infected with Radical 6. Then we gave you the Excelivir, which cured you. The Radical 6 isn't completely gone, though. Some of its symptoms stick around for a while.
What symptoms?
Well, Radical 6 can slow down your brain's processing speed by the root of 1/6. It can take a while for your brain to get back up to speed.
Ah, ok, è per questo che vede le cose così.
Every one of us has been infected. In other words, all of our brains have been processing information at a much lower speed. If you evaluated the root of 1/6, you'll get a number close to 0.408. That means our brains are running at something slightly less than half speed. As you said before, the moon's gravity is about 1/6 that of Earth's. The time that it takes for an object to fall is inversely proportional to the square root of the gravitational acceleration. Since the gravity is lower on the moon, that means the time increases. I guess that's a little technical. Let me give you an example.
Giusto un attimo, Luna, giusto un attimo.
Say you drop an apple from a height of 4.9 meters.
Perché non 5? Vabbè, va bene, ok, va bene.
It will take approximately 1 second to hit the ground. On the moon, however, that time would be 1 second times root 6, which would be approximately 2.45 seconds. I used 4.9 meters because it matches up with the acceleration of gravity nicely, but it could be anything.
Ah, ok.
The gravity constant is, well, a constant. You could drop something from 10 centimeters or 10 meters and it would be the same. Does that make sense? So, now we've established that on the moon, things fall root 6 times slower than they do on Earth. That being the case, what would happen if someone's brain slowed down by root 1/6? To them, 2.45 seconds would feel like 1 second. 4.9 seconds would feel like 2. But it's not hypothetical. That's what's been happening to every one of us. Wait, you're saying that's the reason we didn't notice the weaker gravity? Are you sure you didn't notice anything? Think back. Huh? You and Sigmund Phi said something about it in the lounge. About how you felt weird.
Sì, mi ricordo.
It's kind of like my body isn't really mine. I'm sort of floating. Like that.
Quindi lei non è un golem, ma veramente sicuri? Cioè, lo abbiamo visto così per quello?
Wait,
Probabile?
this is crazy. That can't possibly be Earth out there. Look at it. I've seen photos of Earth and it's blue and green and beautiful. That thing is just red.
Before we get into that, I should probably tell you something.
Oh, mamma mia. Tutti spiegoni adesso.
This isn't New Year's Eve in 2028.
Oh mio Dio.
Today is January 27th. No.
Ecco, appunto. In che anno siamo, Tenmyoji?
Don't tell me. 30?
Still no.
Then just what year is this?
It's 74.
Che?
2074.
Mamma mia! Com'è possibile? Cioè, oddio, quindi l'unico che ha veramente l'età giusta è proprio Tenmyoji, quindi, e gli altri no?
I don't blame you if you don't believe me, but it's the truth.
How can you be sure?
It's not that hard. Quark and I left Earth on January 23rd, 2074.
Beh, certo, anche Quark ha l'età giusta.
Solar eclipses are easy to predict. We've known that there'd be one on the 27th for a long time. That's just science. Nobody can change that.
But why is the Earth red?
That's a long story. About 45 years ago, on April 13th, 2029, there were 18 annihilation reactors operating in various parts of the world. On the 13th, all 18 of them went up, all at the same time.
Oh, mamma mia.
The explosion was about 180,000 times as powerful as the atom bomb they dropped on Hiroshima.
Questo pure l'avevamo già letto.
I suppose it started a few months before that. The government had a test site for a future Mars mission out in the middle of Nevada. On December 31st, 2028, there was an accident. Well, accident doesn't quite convey the right sense of the thing. The point is, Radical 6 claimed its first victims there, then escaped. Didn't take long for it to spread to the rest of the world.
Oh, mamma mia.
Like Luna explained, the virus slows your brain down, but eventually, it also makes you kill yourself. Pretty soon, the bodies started to pile up. Some people would take a dive off a building or shoot themselves in the head. You know, the classics. But for some, it was poison, or fire, or asphyxiation, or the noose. Plenty of people jumped in front of trains or cars.
Mamma mia.
One pilot on a passenger airline drove his plane into the ground. Most forms of transportation ground to a halt pretty fast. That meant food couldn't get distributed, and thousands of people who weren't even infected died from starvation. Everywhere you went, there were just piles of corpses, covered in flies and rats and crows. I don't know what hell's like, but I imagine it's a lot like that. After a while, people who managed to avoid getting infected started trying to get in touch with one another.
Oh, mamma mia, ragazzi. Che... Madonna, è ancora peggio di quello che pensavo.
They got a hold of some radios and organized a couple meetings. There was only one thing to discuss, of course. How could they get rid of Radical 6? The answer, they decided, was purification. They figured they could just roast the surface of the Earth and that'd kill the virus off for good.
Mazza, che soluzione! Bruciamo
April
tutto!
13th in 2029, they put their plan into effect. That plan was to detonate all 18 annihilation reactors. Now the truth is, that's mostly just rumor. Nobody really knows what happened. But I've got my own theories. I think that the bombers had already been infected. And when they died, they took billions with them. The ultimate if I die you're coming with me gesture, I suppose. I'd bet you money they'd all lost it long before they got to the reactors, killing most of the world. No matter how bad things had gotten, it was not a sane plan, even if it wasn't directly responsible. Radical 6 killed most of the people on Earth. Anyway, why it happened isn't that important. Point is, it happened. You ever heard of nuclear winter? Well, that's basically what we got. The explosions threw a ton of crab lip into the stratosphere, where it joined up with smoke and ash from all the fires. It blotted out the sun for 7 years.
Mamma mia.
Plants withered and animals died by the millions. The few humans who were left banded together to survive. Eventually they were over, though. The sky cleared and the sun came back. Plants started blooming again, and the animals that hadn't died out completely began to reappear. Things weren't quite back to normal, though. It's been 45 years now. But there's still quite a bit of dust and ash in the air. That's what you're seeing. You know why a sunset's red? Well, this is the same thing. Blue and green light have short wavelengths, and they scatter when they run into debris in the air. Red light, on the other hand, has a longer wavelength, which means it'll get a lot farther when the air's dirty. So there you are. The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light that can make it through the atmosphere.
Ok, c'è stato questo disastro incredibile. Tra l'altro, leggere questa roba con una pandemia globale in corso mi fa accapponare la pelle. Ma va, che mentire, non mente mica.
Hey, Sigma. I think I figured something out.
Dica. Tanto ormai.
I figured out why there's an extra E.
Oh, quello del Ninth Lion?
Yeah, the one on floor B. I think it's an anagram, just like on floor A.
Ok.
God damn it, Sigma! Knock it off! Memento mori if the ninth lion ate the sun. If you rearrange the letters, you get the man on the moon rules the infinite time.
E andiamo bene!
Sì.
Ho capito, ma che vuol dire comunque?
You need 6 E's to get that, so they stuck an extra one in ninth.
Ma tu come cavolo hai fatto ad avere in testa la frase e essere stata in grado di dire questa cosa? Questa è una domanda interessante.
I think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and Akane. Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AV project for one purpose, to transport the consciousnesses of 2 people into the past. Those 2 people are you, Sigma, and you, Vi.
My God, you're slow. You don't get it? They're saying we rule the infinite time. Infinite time. They weren't just talking about having us jump a couple hours. I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
Per fermare la pandemia?
Yeah. I'd bet on it. I think so.
E ok, ci può anche stare, trovo del senso finalmente. Ma come no? Come no? Io trovo il senso e Sigma no. Perché non sapevi niente al momento.
Well, Akane should be able to tell us the rest. Let's go pay her a visit. I've got an idea. Come on, think. Remember what she said when she gave you the key?
Tu fui ego eris.
Oh, è vero!
Well, come on, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Veramente saltiamo ancora. Ah no, siamo rientrati? Ah, ci hanno seguito tutti!
What are you doing? Did you forget something?
Ma non possiamo andarci da qua, dobbiamo cambiare linea temporale, la porta è chiusa ormai.
Oh. You mean Akane? I'll take that as a yes. Let me accompany you then.
Wait, why do you know about Akane?
I'll tell you when we get there.
Che fantastico.
Now, if you please.
Io lo amo.
I'm coming with you. You folks just said the magic word.
I'm going to then. So am I.
Tutti, andiamo.
Hey, is this Akane you're talking about?
Yeah, you know her real well.
Wait, you're serious?
Oh sì,
What the hell is going on?
è proprio lei. Sigma si è incazzato, una certa. Va bene, andiamo. Ma non possiamo aprire la porta numero 9 di nuovo. Come facciamo? Si può riaprire da di là? Ah sì? Non lo sapevo mica. Però poi si richiude, non possiamo riaprire. Boh, non lo so.
Ah, clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course. But the door on floor B...
Yeah. Thought we might be able to take the lift to it. And it looks like I was right.
Ah,
Any idea where Akane might be?
sì, ce l'abbiamo.
You mean the grave in the garden?
Così è un po' tanto strana. Ci aspetteranno ancora molti spiegoni, immagino.
Is Akane really under here?
Ah, che c'è la toppa c'è la serratura, guarda lì.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
Abbiamo la chiave. Vai, vai. Oh mamma, è un pod! Ah! Oddio! Quindi è lì dentro!
It doesn't look like a coffin. Yeah, it's a treatment pod.
Oh my god.
It is, isn't it?
Oh mamma!
Let's see what's inside. No good. I think it's locked.
Ancora?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1 defrosting complete.
Ok.
Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes.
Ah, c'è pure da aspettare quindi.
Once stage 2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
Con calma, proprio.
What? So, Ms. Akane's like an ice cube?
Sì, praticamente.
Then we gotta wait till she melts?
Yes.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
Vabbè, era quella che lavorava col dottore, probabilmente Zero, e lui è un suo clone, e quindi anch'io, mettendo insieme i vari pezzi.
I remembered.
What do you remember?
Everything.
Vai.
I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9.
Oh,
A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
più o meno.
This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that.
Momento, siamo ancora qui, sì.
The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one.
Cavolo, così tanti?
Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior.
Ok.
I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past. Yes.
So, you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
Ah no?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
Let me begin at the beginning.
Oh mamma
You
mia.
might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this, but that's not entirely correct. They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension. That was the reason for the puzzles. Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential. With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life-or-death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Like a bullet from a slingshot.
Wait, hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi, but what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9.
Ah, come?
We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories. Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you.
No, infatti.
In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is... Yes, I suppose I should explain.
Grazie tesoro.
Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand. First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. The location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Direi di sì.
Yes, in preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past. Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power. You understand? This is why we brought you here, Clover.
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Huh? But I didn't do anything.
But you did. In another history, you were able to perform a prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do that sort of thing. Because of your feat of mathematics, we were about to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust. This history exists because of your presence. Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark.
Oh, immaginavo sarebbe diventato ancora più incasinato, ma qua veramente è un livello incredibile.
Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover.
Eh sì.
You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying he couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you. I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth. What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, we headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out, and when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Now, Dio.
E lui dovrebbe essere un infiltrato.
His real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons. He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released. If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was given 2 tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed. At least, not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
He was also an Esper.
Lei, tutti Esper.
We can set Brother aside for now, though. May I proceed?
Un altro Esper. Lo conosciamo.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save 2, Luna and myself.
Vabbè, Luna lo sappiamo noi.
Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves at a later time. Would that be all right with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
You've already met him, Sigma. In another timeline.
Sì.
Stage 2 is complete.
Ale, Defrost completato?
TP-00 unlocking.
It looks like
mamma.
it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Oh mamma mia, ragazzi, ovviamente adesso bisogna fermarsi, c'è un botto di roba da processare e ce ne sarà sicuramente ancora un botto che ci devono dire, quindi porca miseria, quanta roba, non ce la posso fare. Secondo me sarà ancora lunghissimo perché ci sono ancora troppe cose da spiegare e tutto, quindi chi può dirlo? Vedremo alla prossima.